In this video series, you're going to learn how to create your own professional quality videos using software that you can download for free. To create our videos, we will use three different software programs. First, we'll use Cam Studio to capture the video from the screen. Then we'll use Sovig Abbey Trimmer to edit the clip. And then we'll use FLV Producer Lite to create the streaming video. You can download all of these programs from the links in the resources document. After you've downloaded Cam Studio and unzipped it, you will see a file list like this. The only thing we're going to be using is the recorder. If you're using Windows Vista, you're going to need to change this to run under compatibility mode. So all you have to do is right click on it and then go down and click Properties. And then go to Compatibility, and then run it in compatibility mode, Windows XP Service Pack 2, and run this program as an administrator. Make sure that that's all set before you start, and then click OK. Now what we can do is we can open this just by double clicking on it, and then Cam Studio opens for us. You see a nice little window like this. Now let's go over how to set up Cam Studio so we can get going with a screen capture. On this example, I'm just going to record the Yahoo screen, but you would be recording something more useful than this, like a video tutorial. So let's go through the setup first. Now we have File, Region, Options, Tools, Effects, and View. So let's start. Well, File is just record, stop, pause, and exit. So let's start whether we want a region, a fixed region, a window, or full screen. These are the types of recordings you can do. A region allows you to select a region of the screen. A fixed region is a fixed size region, right, that isn't variable. A window will record a certain window, and full screen, of course, records the full screen. Now I usually, almost always, use region because I can select an area of the screen, and no matter what window I bring up, it will still record that region. It allows you more flexibility than a fixed region, and if you use window, it'll only record the window that you have open at the moment. If you open another window and try and record in the same spot where that window is, it's going to record the old window that you started with, so that doesn't work. And full screen usually makes a recording that's too big. Options. Okay, let's go with video options first. Here you can select your codices depending on which ones you have installed. You should install the Cam Studio Lossless Codice version 1. This will shrink the size of the audio portion of your video. Now, if you don't have the Lossless Codice installed, there is a link in the resources area that shows you where to go get it and how to install it. Down here you can set your frame rate and your playback rate. You should just leave these as the defaults. And that's really all you have to do here. Next, cursor options. In here you can either hide your cursor during your recording, you can show your cursor, you can set the size of the cursor, and you can set the style of your cursor over here. So you can give it a shape if you want, like so, and then it'll show up a little easier if you want to use this, and then of course you can set the color in here. If you don't want to use that, just turn off the highlight. Okay. And once we're done there, decide whether you want to record audio. Most cases you probably do, so you select record audio from the microphone if you're recording audio. And then you have to go to audio options and audio for the microphone. Here you're going to have a drop down list of your available audio options. So you just go and pick the ones in here that you want. Now here you have your recording format. Now the best one to use here is 44.1 kilohertz mono 16-bit. This will give you the best sound quality as well as keep the sound from going out of synchronization in most cases. And then down here you have interleave audio every 100 milliseconds. You should just leave that alone. So that's all we really need to set here. Next we have enable auto pan. Now what auto pan does is it follows the cursor around the screen if in your recording region. And let's just, well, I'll show you how that works in a minute. And then you set your auto pan speed so that it follows your cursor around. So once you're doing auto pan, you do a couple of tests and see how fast you want it to go here. Okay, next we have our program options. Now you can set these to your particular preference. One of the ones I always like to set is save settings on exit. And then in name of AVI file, I always click ask for file name so that I can name it what I want it to. Okay. Now record to flash options, we're not actually going to use this, but you can set those if you want. Keyboard shortcuts. This allows you to set the shortcut key for any of these particular functions here. And then you can choose your language. The only packs installed in this case are English and German, so you pick which one goes there. Basically now we're all set up. Now we'll get to the annotation a little later. Okay, so we're all ready to start our screen recording. So we'll go and we'll do that in the next video.